What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, and today we're going to be looking at Johan Lange signings at Spurs. Been a bit of a narrative around the Spurs fan base that Johan has not been doing such a great job, definitely compared to his predecessor in Fabio Paratici as well. So today we're going to be putting that to the test.
You've been calling for bring back Don Fabio, so I guess we'll see how the tier comes.
Exactly. So we've got 4 tiers for you here. We've got flop, one for the future, solid signing, and star signing. Only 10 players to go on, but let's see where we go. And we're going to start off with the big one, which was the big money signing from Bournemouth, which was Dom Solanke. Where do you think he goes in that?
Difficult one. I think he's definitely not one for the future, and he's definitely not a flop. Is he a star signing, though? I think he's definitely added a lot to our team, and I love him, and I think he's a brilliant worker, and I think he's brilliant hold-up play, and he does get a few goals, but he hasn't. Has he set the world alight? It's fair to say. Has he been one of the best strikers in the league?
Nah, for me,
maybe
it's solid.
not.
It's a solid signing. Like he's not.
He could be a star signing, though. He hasn't been a star signing.
No, I think he's come in. He's done a good job. He hasn't blown people away, but we are. When he's not there, we miss him a lot. That's the reality. But I don't think he's come in and been incredible for us. But
He's been very good.
Yeah, I think a solid signing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done enough to be a star signing.
No, I agree. I think solid signing's fine.
Next up is Archie Gray. So Archie's come in, he's done well, jack of all trades, been filling in at centre-back the majority of his time, played a couple of games at full-back as well in the Europa League, and most recently got his first start in central midfield. I mean, can you put him in solid signing just yet, or is he just going to be one that's going to be flourishing in the future?
Well, I think it's fair to say we haven't seen the best of him yet.
Yeah.
But that's not only due to him, but due to all the positions he's played. I think he's done enough to suggest he is one for the future in terms of that's when we're going to see the best of him, but he's already contributing, he's already playing. So I do think he will be a star signing, because I think he's a special talent. But at the moment, I guess it's one for the future, I guess.
Yeah, I think one for the future, because even though he's done well when stepping in, they're still in the position that he's been playing, and there's been a clear void for when he's been playing. And when you're looking at the gap in quality, it's clear for everyone to see, isn't it?
Let's be honest, if he was a 30 million signing for those positions, we wouldn't be saying he was good.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
Exactly.
As much as he's been good because he's 18 and he's out of position.
And look, I love him. I love Archie Gray, and I think he's going to be a big, big player for us in the future. And I think that you can see where, on the ball, he is an unbelievable player, and he's going to be an unbelievable player. But right here, right now, you can't put him in star signing. I don't even think you can put him in solid signing just yet. So I think one for the future. Next up is Wilson Odobert. Obviously, we haven't seen him that much, but played a couple of games at the start of the season, got injured, came back, got injured again. Now we're starting to see him. Obviously, 2 goals against AZ Alkmaar in the Europa League, which helped us progress to the quarterfinals. But, I mean, that's really the only standout performance he's had.
Yeah, but it's a small sample size, isn't it? Obviously, he came in and started straight away before he got injured, and actually looked quite bright in games against Everton, Newcastle, then picked up that injury. And we haven't seen him up until very, very recently, where obviously he had a great game against RZ, but mixed performances in the Premier League, City, as you say, Bournemouth. So I think he has to go one for the future at the moment, but he is a player already contributing and doing all right. But I haven't seen enough of him to say how good he is just yet, I guess.
Yeah, look, Archie Gray's contributing right now and doing all right as well. But we put him in one for the future. So I think Odobert also has got to go in one for the future. I completely agree about that one. Next up is Anton Kinski. I think this one's one of the more obvious ones. He's definitely one for the future. He came in that debut against Liverpool. He had the stadium wowing with the ability that he had with the ball at his feet. But I think it came evident after that Vicario is by far the better keeper than Kinski right now. So definitely one for the future.
I would say solid signing just because he's a pretty decent number 2. He came in and did okay. Yes, he made some mistakes as well. He is a young keeper, but he's one who I'm not too worried about stepping in at the moment if we need him to. It's hard to say with a sub keeper, but I guess I would have said a solid signing.
But you're also not worried with Odobert and Gray stepping in either.
No, I'm not worried about. I think Gray. I am a bit worried at the moment with him stepping up a centre back, but it depends where he's stepping in. But
Now, if you see Gray's name on the team sheet in midfield, it's not like you're worried about it. You know what I mean?
Well, it wasn't great in the last game, was he?
It's one game, yeah.
I know, but we
I
haven't
mean,
seen
what
him
was
too
your
much
feeling
there.
when you saw him in midfield that game?
I was excited to see him there, but he didn't turn out well.
Yeah.
But I think Kinski's played quite a bit in his best position, which is keeper. I think he's done all right. So I would have said he's a solid signing, but I don't know. I guess it's hard to differentiate the tiers, but yeah, I guess.
Well, I guess because he's been brought out in his backup, then maybe you're probably right about
That's
that.
what I
So
mean.
yeah, move him into solid signing then. Next up is Matisse Tell. Definitely flattered to deceive. Got an option to buy him at the end of this loan spell for 60 million. I mean, from right here, right now, from what we've seen, he's a flop.
Yeah, that's the truth. He's been a flop since he's come. He's not been good enough. So that's the brutal honesty. But it's if he plays next game, whatever our next game is, and scores a couple of goals, that narrative switches immediately. So it's such a small sample size. But yeah.
But,
unfortunately,
we're judging him right now, the 21st of March, and from what we've seen from him so far, it is a flop.
yeah, he's struggled.
However, if we were to sign him, we'll probably be saying one for the future.
Correct. At the moment, he's not staying here. He's only here for 6 months at the moment, at the time of recording. And if that's the case, then he's a flop.
Mm-hmm. Lucas Bergvall up next. I think he's been the most impressive signing under Johan Lange so far. And I'm going to
preempted it.
That is exactly where I was going to say. Put him in star signing because I think he's exceeded everyone's expectations of him. Coming in first season in the Premier League from the Swedish League, everyone's like, this guy is going to, when he came in, we were thinking, this guy's one for the future. But he's actually come in and he's one of the first names on the team sheet at the moment.
Yeah, outstanding talent, I think. Undroppable at the moment. Currently our best midfielder. The level he's playing at, considering how new he is to English football, how old he is, I think it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Really kind of worked his way into the season. Now he's playing at such a great level where he's our first choice midfielder. So I think this guy is already a star, but he's definitely obviously a star in the making. So much more to come from him. And when comparing him to Gray, it's just, I know Gray's done well, but Bergvall's actually playing well for a midfielder in the Premier League, not just an 18-year-old midfielder. Like, he's been amazing. So I think he's a star. Yeah, star signing.
Next up is Kevin Danso. Come in, done well. I think solid signing.
Yeah, don't disagree with that. Solid signing. Done the job since he's come in. Not quite at the level of Romero van de Ven, I think, from what I've seen, but also really good addition to the back line in terms of depth. So yeah, solid signing.
Yang Min Hyuk up next, and I think there's only one tier for him here, and that is one for the future. He's gone on loan to QPR. I think there's obviously some clear development still to do with Yang Min Hyuk, and it's going to take some time, in my opinion. So probably another loan move next season. I definitely think he's got ability and he's got talent, but it's going to take time to develop him into that player.
Agreed. A lot of work to do. Still very slender for like the Premier League. Needs to work on his physicality. I think at the Championship he's had kind of mixed time there. Some decent cameos, but by and large struggled a lot of the time. So I think at the moment, one for the future.
Next up is Radu Dragusin, and I'm going to put him into flop.
I agree.
I'm going to put him into flop not because of so much of the quality of the player, but the fit for the system and the fit for what we're looking to do. I think if we were to sign him under Conte in that system, I think he'd be brilliant for it. And I think he would have fitted in really well, but he's just not a player, not a defender for high-line football, playing out from the back, and I just think he's been misprofiled.
I agree. I don't think he's a bad player, but he's been a flop for us. Let's be honest. He's been a bit of a liability, especially on the ball. He's had some good games. It's not been all bad, but by and large, he's been underwhelming. Let's be honest. It's been more bad than good. And yes, I feel for him a bit because he's been in a team that's struggling. Maybe if a lot of the season he was partnered with a senior centre-back rather than either like Davis or Gray for a lot of it, maybe it would be different. But from what we've seen so far from him, it's been rarely good performances, to be honest. And in terms of how he plays and the kind of player he is, it just doesn't look like a right fit at all.
Yeah. And last but not least, Timo Werner.
Star signing.
So great that we loaned him twice.
Yeah.
But no, he goes straight into flop. He's been absolutely shocking for us. And you know what? He did have his worth last season. come back and he's been nothing short of embarrassing pretty much the whole season.
Yeah, it's made a mockery of the decision to re-sign him, to be honest. If we would have done this at the end of last season, he probably just squeaks into solid signing. But I think at the moment he's been so bad. Even the manager's lost faith in him. He's been left out of the European squad. That says it all, I think. The fact that he can't even contribute in Europe anymore because he's just been that bad, and his confidence is at all-time low. And I can't remember the last time he played well. So, yeah, flop, unfortunately.
All right, so there you have it. Let's just quickly run through these tiers. So 3 flop signings in Tel, Dragoshin and Timo. I think when you're looking at players that can maybe change on that, Tel's probably the only one. One for the future in Gray, Odebear and Yang, which is fair enough. Solid signing in Solanke, Kinski and Danso, and 1-star signing in Lucas Bergvall. So how do you kind of assess that as Johan Lange's 10 signings at Spurs?
It's hard to, because those 3 players who are in one for the future, especially Odebear and Gray, in under different circumstances, we could be saying they're more than that. So I think obviously we're judging them from how they've been this season under the current circumstances, Odebear being injured, Gray being played out of position. But that's not totally their fault or necessarily Lange's fault that that's happened. So I don't want to sit and say they're bad signings or whatever. In terms of solid signings, I think that's fair. I think that, again, Kinski, has potential to move up from there. Solanke as well, if he starts getting more goals and things like that. I think Danto's probably always going to stay there. And I think the only 1-star signing you can say has been, incredible, is Bergvall. So I think it's right. I think it's not a bad list, in my opinion. I think there's more good than bad there, in my opinion, I would say.
I mean, but when you're being tasked to take this squad onto the next level, and particularly the forward line, I just don't think he's done that.
No, he hasn't done it, albeit I think obviously we do score more goals, but no, he hasn't taken on to the forward line right now anyway. Obviously Solanke's improved us, but Odebear's been injured. Tel hasn't done it so far. So that hasn't happened, but I don't look at those forward signings and say that they're bad signings or anything like that, or he's done bad to get them. Like I think
2 of them we've put them in flop.
Werner and Dragoshin we have.
And
Tel, yeah, I guess we've put Tel on flop. But Tel could change very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're judging him very, very harshly to say he's a flop right now.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Werner, yes, I agree. I think Werner, to be honest, and maybe Dragoshin, those 2 have been very disappointing. The others, I'm not too mad about them, to be honest.
Like, you look at the job that Paratici has done, and he was tasked as well with, improving our defence and getting top-level defenders through the club, through the door. And he got Mickey van der Ven and Cuti Romero. I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was. I don't know if you can put that on him. I don't know. Maybe you can, but he was obviously not officially the Spurs director at the time, was he?
What, with Romero and Mickey?
Romero, yes, not Mickey.
Was he not? Who was working for us at the time then?
We didn't have one.
Well, we all know that he was the one working in the shadows, though, don't we?
Potentially, I don't know how much. I don't know what level involvement. Like, was he the one selecting the signings? Was he doing the deals?
Who else could it have been? I mean, I don't know about doing the deals. I doubt he was doing the deals, but I definitely think that he was.
There was Ali Gold did a whole thing about these guys. No, I can't remember who it was, but there was these guys who were filling in with the role. I don't remember who it was exactly. But look, maybe Fabio was the one identifying, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Fabio brought in Porro, he brought in a doggy, he brought in Romero. I mean, these are all kind of really good signings for us.
Yeah, he also brought in Hill, brought in Richarlison. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying he didn't bring in flops. He has,
and so is Lange, but he's also good there.
But I think that when you're judging like Paratici to Lange in terms of star signings, I mean, there's a clear difference there.
Yeah, but Lange clearly was asked to get more players for the future, most probably than Paratici. But yeah, he's had what 3 windows, Lange, 2 windows. Yeah. So
3 windows.
I don't look at that and think what an awful list is my point. But I think it could be better.
You don't look at it like an awful list, but you also don't look at it saying, well, for the here and now to take us onto the next level. You don't look at it being like, that's definitely going to take us onto the next level.
Yeah, that's fair as well.
So make of that what you will. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you rate Johan Lange's time at Spurs up until now? 3 signings, 1 summer window and 2 winter windows. Also, you've got to be fair as well in saying it's only been 1 summer window, and that's when the majority of business does get done.
And I don't think we've reaped the rewards for a lot of these players just yet.
Yeah, that's also true. Because you've got to look at like Paratici, his probably the best youngster that he signed was Pape, and it took him a long time to till he broke into the team. Where you look at Bergvall, who's already broken into the team. So look, maybe we should go back and revisit Paratici's signings and tear them up, because I'm looking at the one that we did for Paratici, and we put a whole host of players in star signing, and in there is players like Bentancur and Bissouma, and I wonder if they would still get in there now. So maybe we'll revisit that over the coming days. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.